Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leader in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Wednesday, December 31st, 2008. Well folks, the last trading day of the year, today, New Year's Eve. I hope everyone has a wonderful New Year's Eve this evening, and I really want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the market today, because there's, believe it or not, on this light trading session the day before the New Year, we actually are seeing some very sizable gains in the markets, followed on yesterday's nice gains. The Dow is up 120 points, the Nasdaq trading up about 24, the S&P up about 13. Across the board, that's 1.5% higher. Right now, you're looking on the chart of the futures here, and you can see a nice little chart with an upward bias pretty much all day long. And sure enough, that's what we're seeing here. And one thing I want to talk about, we want to talk about energy today, because you guys, those of you that belong to the Research Center, obviously get the heads up right away on what we've been doing, what we've been calling. You guys know we talked about a pivot low being put in early to mid last week, and even into late last week on oil, expecting a move, and today, sure enough, oil screaming up over 10%, over $44 a barrel. So we called that low. You guys on various free boards and stuff know that we had been talking about possible buy on oil, and sure enough, here we go. Major gains and profits on the DXO. Those of you that were holding the DXO or the USO. DXO up 20% today. This is 2 times long ETF for crude oil. 2 times long, it's up 46 cents today. Huge move to $2.80. You have the USO screaming up over $3. Look at this chart today. Absolutely fantastic move on oil. Unbelievable move on oil as it continues to scream higher. Now the key here, folks, is this. The charts were telling us this. There was no doubt about it. We knew we were going to get a move up in oil. We knew it was on the horizon once we got that pivot put in. Those of you in the chat room obviously were alongside of us for that and playing that and profiting off of that as well. So I do encourage all of you that don't belong to the Research Center or the chat room to give it a short shot, as you will reap the benefits of these type of calls in a beautiful manner. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is, first of all, we obviously know commodities are ripping today. Now, you can see that on gold. Gold had gapped lower. In fact, oil gapped lower. And we actually, in the chat room, discussed one of the key factors, how we knew this morning that oil was going to rip higher. Because earlier it gapped lower, and there was a signal that we saw about 10:30 in the morning that signaled to us that oil was going to most likely rip higher, and sure enough, I mean, you're up literally over 10% on oil today. Huge move. Now let's go back to the intraday charts, folks. Obviously, we'll discuss what that issue was and why we knew oil was going to go up, so those of you that want to get that as well, join the Research Center. I'll cover that on the Research Center this evening at InTheMoneyStocks.com on our website, InTheMoneyStocks.com. Just join the Research Center. You get about 5 or 6 services just for a small fee a month. Now, what you're seeing here, folks, is really early in the morning the market ticked up. Then you have a nice extended bull flag pattern, in spirit of bull flag. You can see what happened here. You almost got a little bit of a double bottom here right around the market open, right before the market open, where not only is this a bullish flag pattern, and you can draw the line here for a breakout. Notice the tops on the candles. You connect the tops, you get a breakout point. So once the market gets above this point right here, you obviously know the market's going to continue higher, and sure enough, this was really the end of the downdraft, the beginning of the up move, and sure enough, big up move all the way to this point. You get a pullback into the 20 moving average, continued upside, and then a little bit of a pullback here as we're talking about this market at approximately 2:25 p.m. Eastern Time on December 31st here. Now, aside from this being a little double bottom, I'll just explain that. Why do you know? Well, the low here on this dip here, you can draw it across and draw it like that. Note how no candle closed below. You pierced on this, but they saved it by the end of that candle closing it above. That's a successful test of a possible double bottom, and a nice tail there to signal a buy, and sure enough, the market to the upside. If they had closed it below and you saw confirmation, well, then it negates the double bottom theory, and you move on. So that's what it's all about here, guys. I mean, it's just all about understanding charts. This is what we teach, and we have a webinar on Saturday. I hope more of you guys can join. We have a nice group already, but please come and sign up for that at In The Money Stocks under Education, Webinars, and Seminars. We're going to go into all these technical theories, all the technical calculations. How do we know there was a turn date on oil? How do we know that the market has a pivot day coming up? How to calculate that for yourself? Because, you know, obviously, it's all about teaching someone to fish instead of giving them a fish, and they'll feed themselves for life. The key again, guys, volume very light today. You have to understand that, but the market doesn't care. The NASDAQ up 24.5 points. A huge move up on oil today. Absolutely tremendous move up on oil. Commodities overall are doing very well after all gapping down. And by the way, oil is now up over $5 going into the 2:30 close on spot crude. Up over $5, over $44 a barrel. Tremendous move higher. Truly unbelievable, folks, as this market continues to rip. Now, a couple other things, guys. You guys know this is the intraday analysis, so we covered the intraday. I do want to bring up that USO chart. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about what's going on down here, but look at this oil scream into the close today. This is the biggest up move we've seen, percentage-wise, in a long, long time, but biggest move up move in a long, long time. Absolutely huge up move today. We haven't seen the USO up $4 in so long. Absolutely huge move. Tremendous, tremendous. Now, just looking across the board, guys, alternate energies and energy stocks are running with a vengeance today. Stocks like IOC, Intra Oil. Look at this today, up $2.34 on Intra Oil. And again, you look at here. We'll go to this is the monthly chart, but I want to go to the daily here. Just noting this, I mean, look at this chart, been beaten down. This used to be a $30 stock. Now here, how about XTXI? This was I announced this stock this morning in the chat room to the subscribers in the chat room because it was an obvious play here off of knowing that this was beaten down. Look at this stock. It used to be over here up $30. Now it's trading in the $3 range. It's up $1.16 today. Look at that jump. Huge move up today. Look at this. I mean, this is literally 30% up moves, and it's just about finding these stocks, folks. Just about finding them. U.S. Steel, another commodity stock, up $1.25. That's the intraday one on that one. Also, notice the pattern here. You had a nice pullback right into very good support, which is the 50 and the 20 moving average. You can't get a better pullback than that. And this is what it's all about, guys. Understanding these patterns, understanding how to play them, and being right about playing them. It's just a matter of understanding all this, reading price pattern and time. You can do this for yourself. So again, I encourage you to join that webinar, or in the very least join the research center, because the benefits are unbelievable. As you'll learn these type of patterns, you'll be able to find them on your own stocks. I only show you what I kind of look at and what I'm kind of reading, but nonetheless. Now, the other stocks we announced, by the way, I announced on the Facebook page. We have a Facebook group. You can all come and join it. I announced yesterday to watch some stocks. What were they? TBSI. I announced to watch this yesterday on that board, and I announced it to the chat room obviously before and all that. Right here early in the day, right around $8 a share. I think it was $7.90 I gave the signal. Now it's $10. DRYS, we were watching this rip higher. It's up $1.50 today on dry ships. The shipping stock's going crazy. I then announced after TBSI ran to watch EXM. Look at the move that's taking place on that, and OCNF is another little one. This is a little one. Nonetheless, look at this move up. I announced to watch it right around here, around $2.35 yesterday. It's now at $2.76. These are just a small, portion of what we're talking about in the chat room, in the research center, on the free boards. Get the word out there. We encourage you all to come and join us to get the premium pivot days, because when the pivot days hit, if you're in the market and it's a pivot low or a pivot high put in and we're going to fall, you better know to get out of the way, because you can see what type of moves. When we get back into January, you're going to have some crazy moves in the market again, all right? Now, I won't announce. We have a pivot day coming up in early January. I'm not going to announce whether it's a long or short pivot. That's for the subscribers on the research center and in the chat room. But nonetheless, you better be ready for that as well, as you want to be either in the market or out the market and be ready to be either protective or aggressive. That's what it comes down to. Goldman Sachs was up $5.50 yesterday. Today up another $3. The market, and this is what would happen, guys. Into holidays, the market is generally going to rally because you have light volume, especially into the end of the year. People are now believing that into January, you can have all the Obama effect, him coming in and so forth, and you're seeing these type of moves up, absolutely tremendous moves up in the market the last 2 days, after we really were trading flat for a matter of, 2 weeks. It was almost getting boring, but these last couple days have really helped improve that. Alright, folks, that's all for today on the intraday video. I may put out a New Year's video just going over the last year and summarizing and looking towards the future. We'll have to see about that. Otherwise, we'll be back on Friday with a new intraday video, as the markets are closed tomorrow, Thursday. Happy New Year. Happy New Year's Eve. Be safe, healthy, and a very profitable New Year from InTheMoneyStocks.com. Take care.